Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter, Steven, and Shane. Say what up, guys.
Final Fantasy.
What's up,
We're still here.
nerds?
Final Fantasy, we're still here indeed. Things will look a little different moving forward with these grades video because there are so many legendary creatures from this set, 160 something, if I do remember. Which means you will not see all of us moving forward. It is the summertime. We have obligations and trips and whatnot, and being all four of us here at the same time, hard to do. So, but you're still going to get these videos from us. Don't worry. But this one is the Revival Trance Precon from Final Fantasy, like Steven said. Still trekking along. It's a lot. It's a lot of cards, right,
A
guys?
lot of
It's
cards,
a ton
dude.
of cards.
So many cards. I just want to talk about space.
Edge of Eternities. Yep, it's right here. But we are still Final Fantasy. So let's go ahead and get into this. But before we do, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So you're staying up to date with everything else that we are putting out because there are more grades. But let's start off with the base commander of Revival Trance. This is Terra, Herald of Hope. It is a red, white, and a black for a 3/3 legendary creature, human, wizard, warrior. It has Trance that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until end of turn. And whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2, and when you do, return target creature card with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped. Unfortunately, Riley is not here as they did the upgrades to Terra. If you wanted to check those out, links in the description. But, Steven, we will start with you because you actually bought this precon and you play it on the regular. What do you think of Terra, Herald of Hope?
Yeah, I bought this precon in Vegas, played with it in Vegas. It's really fun. I will say, well, let's talk about the good first. So 3 mana, amazing. 3/3, great. It does the thing the turn it comes down, so it starts to fuel your graveyard to get ready for that interaction. Uh, the flying it gets, great evasion. Have I dealt commander damage with this card? Absolutely not. I've not killed anybody with commander damage with this yet. I'm hoping to get there one day. But now moving on to the negative, the creature coming in tapped is so unfortunate because you have swung with Terra. Terra is now tapped. You bring back a creature, and usually when your opponents see you have graveyard recursion, they start to look at you a little harder. But that creature comes in tapped that Terra brings back, and now you are just wide open. So it is super unfortunate. But I will say this deck is filled with a bunch of creatures that have really great ETBs, so it usually helps you out. And to be honest with you, if you're building this as your face commander, not looking at the precon, you can build it in such a way where it's probably much more beneficial than the precon itself. So
Yeah, I thought when I first saw this card, I thought, all right, that might be the, I'm going to put it in quotes, worst precon of the cycle of the 4. Because I thought it was just a bit too slow, in my opinion, especially that's coming from Mardu. Mardu usually is a lot
yeah,
faster than this, but hey, I also think there's better recursion Mardu commanders out there. You do Alicia. Alicia is a fantastic
yeah.
reanimation commander. Um, yeah, but overall, I just thought this was just a little slow, in my opinion.
Slow and just, I'm gonna say a little uninspiring. I think it's unfortunate the only time I saw it in play, I had an engine that just could completely dominate it with Blood Chief Ascendancy, or Ascension, or whatever I call that card. But that's a one-off.
Ascension.
Ascension, thank you. That's a one-off, and you can't expect that all the time, so maybe I'm seeing it a little tinted, but the card just didn't seem that crazy.
No, I don't think it did. Um, you got any last points there, Steven?
No, I mean it's a fun card. You just really have to build around it because it is very restrictive on the power 3 or less. And there are a ton of fun cards that you can put into this kind of deck. It's just again, it's super slow, and if Terra dies, you really need like a haste enabler, and then it gets more expensive. It is very slow to play with.
But hey, if Final Fantasy VI is your favorite Final Fantasy, this is the precon to pick up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and move on to the grades. We will start with you, Steven.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to give this a C. Just it's just too slow, and I like to go fast, and even this being 3 mana, which is like my sweet spot for like commander cost, it's just I can't go above it.
I am going to agree with you. I think it's middle of the road as well. C from me.
Yep, I agree. Middle of the road for me, C.
Terra, Herald of Hope, gets the average grade of a C. Moving on to the backup commander for this deck, it is Celes, Rune Knight. It's 1 red, white, black for a 4/4 legendary creature, human, wizard, knight. It says when it enters, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards plus 1. And whenever one or more other creatures you control enter, if one of them entered from a graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Once again, Riley upgraded this deck using Celeste at the helm. If you wanted to see that, links in the description as well for the 100 and 300 upgrade. But I will kick it off to Steven once again because you own this precon. How do you feel about Celeste?
Oh my God, Celeste is amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do love this card. The ETB is fantastic to start dumping your hand and drawing a fresh set of cards +1, which is just great to read on something. But building this as just the commander and then adding 99 cards other than the precon, the recursion aspect of this is just insane. And even if you bring back a small creature, you're putting a +1/+1 on each creature you control, including the one you just reanimated, because this triggers after it comes in. It is super amazing, super fantastic, and screams Mardu, in my opinion, compared to Terra, because it is fast, in your face, putting +1/+1 counters on stuff, and just really hurting your opponents.
And if you want to build it the way that Riley built it too, with the persist mechanic, dude, that's super crazy. I didn't even think about that. It's a whole adding, removing counters, and just doing stuff infinitely. That's super cool. Really cool effect.
Yeah.
Persist is no joke. But you know how I would have built this? I would have built this as like a blink deck. You just keep blinking this over and just drawing through your whole deck. And then, hey, you get those reanimation spells in your hand, start reanimating the stuff that you're just dropping. This card is super cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. It's quick, sweet, and easy. I think we all love Celeste. Steven, start with you.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with a B on this one. Still pretty fragile. Once it starts getting expensive, you kind of want to stop doing the thing. And I think, just it being in Mardu, I mean, if you build it super expensive, obviously I think you can make this an A, but for the kind of mid-range deck that I'm going for, I'm just going to go B on this.
I still think it's better than the face commander in my opinion, only slightly. So I'm gonna give it a B, low B.
I kind of like this card. Yeah, it's a B. It's a B for me as well. Celeste Rune Knight gets the average grade of a B. Next up is Banon, the Returner's Leader. Red and a white for a 1/3 legendary creature human cleric rebel. It has Prey, which means once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from among cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere other than the battlefield this turn. And whenever you attack, you may pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Cool little filter.
Good enough though.
I mean,
it's such a weird card that requires so many hoops. I mean, you this is in the precon because obviously Terra mills. This at the helm of the deck, I don't know a lot of Boros self mill.
yeah, it's a great point.
That's what makes it awkward, but it does have on itself whenever you attack, you can put something in your graveyard. So you do have that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, red does have the ability to loot, right? And draw a card, discard cards.
Yeah.
So that technically
Yeah.
that counts. But how valuable is that since you are still just casting it for normal?
That's what I was gonna say. There's no real payoff. Like the payoff is that you get to draw a card, which is cool, but there's no like when you cast it from the graveyard, they all get counters. You know what I mean? Like it's not there. You're just cool. I'm gonna save it there for later and cast it, I guess. Like,
Yeah, because
okay.
also like I love your thought on, the rummaging through your deck with, being in red. My only issue with it is, now I have invested, we'll just say 1 red mana for Faithless Looting. I then have to pay 1 to be able to, discard an attack. Maybe I want to get something else just in case the Faithless Looting doesn't go off. It's just so heavy on the mana that I could just, I don't know, do something else and cast the card.
I was gonna say there's not even a discount, dude. So it's like,
Yeah.
why are you discarding it to cast it?
Yeah. It's a pretty interesting card. but I don't think it's an actual commander. Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. I'll kick us off. Banon for me, it's getting a D.
Yeah, I'll join you on the D train.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one for me. More of a support piece. The D.
Banon the Returner's leader gets the average grade of a D. Moving on, we got Cyan, Vengeful Samurai. It's 6 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature human samurai. It says this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. It has double strike. And whenever one or more creatures leave your graveyard, you put a +1/+1 counter on Cyan. Once again, very similar to Banon. This is a mono white card now, Steven, and it's very hard to just get stuff into the grave.
I
This
mean,
is
at
not
this
good.
point, you're going mono white aggro with small creatures and hoping to just
Hope they
your
die.
opponent's block
Yeah.
death by 1,000 cuts. And even when you do, white is good at recurring stuff from your graveyard, not usually to the battlefield. But just a double striking 3/3 with, I don't know. This is awful.
Yeah, support piece
Yeah,
again, in my opinion. It'd be real
I
big.
think we.
That's it.
Yep. The floor is this is still 7 mana. So
Yeah.
Pretty bad
this
floor.
is a bad floor. Let's move on to the grades. It is such a bad floor. It's an F.
I have to give it an F. I was just like, well, it does something kind of, but even what it does is not good. So
It does what it should for an F.
yes.
Cyan Vengeful Samurai gets the average grade of an F. Next up is Edgar, Master Machinist. It's 2 red and a white for a 2/4 legendary creature human artificer noble. It says once during each of your turns, you may cast an artifact spell from your graveyard. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters tapped. It also has tools, which means whenever Edgar attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Is that a cool commander, Steven?
I think so. Because I mean, like, we talk about Voltron a lot, and usually people are trying to remove those Voltron pieces when it comes to your artifact equipments. And nobody cares if your Sword of Feast and Famine comes in tapped.
Yeah,
I can still
True.
equip it and do the thing.
you're not wrong.
So getting +X for for 3 with the swords, I think is really cool. It's a 5/4, so not super super strong, but still like being able to recur your artifacts that your opponents are probably going to be destroying, I think is really good. Plus, there's a bunch of artifacts that when they go to the graveyard, you get to draw a card, you can recur those and continue to do the thing. I think there's many avenues this card can apply to.
Yeah, it's definitely very cool. I mean, I think you nailed it. This is definitely a equipment matters deck that cares about maybe sacrificing your own equipment to do cool stuff. Not always people go after the equipments, but when they do, it's cool to bring it back. And
When they
hey,
do, it's mass removal.
getting the ability to get +X/+0 on top of the cost of whatever the big, let's say it's Excalibur. That's nice little hefty cost, huh?
Yeah. I think I like
Pretty
it.
good.
I like the Voltron aspect there. I kind of just don't get me wrong. I like that like playing Voltron. I kind of want my Voltron commander to have some sort of evasion on it. I get that equipment will give him the evasion, totally fine. But I always get scared off a little bit when the commander, like by default, doesn't have that. So that part's kind of turning me off a little bit.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing is like I welcome a Vandal Blast. Normally it wrecks me and I can never do anything after, but at least with this I can bring stuff
Bring it
back.
back.
True.
Bring it on back. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the grades. Steven, you seem the highest on this. What do you think?
Funny enough, I kind of want to give it a B, but I think we'll still give it a C. I think it's fun, very mid-rangey and like but not super powerful. Again, granted, you know what? I'm gonna go to a B. I'm gonna go to B. I think when you said Excalibur, it really like sparked something in me because that is a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go where you were going to go, and that is a C. I still think it's middle of the road. There are a lot of Ultron commanders that I think are just better. So, C for this one.
What a sentence. I'm gonna go where you were gonna go as well. I'm gonna stay at C.
There you go. Edgar, Master Machinist, gets the average grade of a C. Moving on to a mono red card, it's Gao, Feral Youth. 1 and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature human berserker. It's got rage, which means whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And at the beginning of each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, Gao deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. That's kind of cool. The only thing that's missing on this card is haste. If this had haste, I think it would be really cool.
Yeah,
Would
it's
it?
cheap though, dude. 2
I
mana.
think so. Every time it attacks, you put a counter on it.
Cool.
Hey,
Gotta
you can
grow
do
very
that.
quickly.
Just pitch anger into your graveyard. You're chilling, dude.
True.
This is that's the only really good thing about this, because like mono red, like I can do the flashback stuff, but that's
Yeah.
really it. You know, like how many, like this is gonna be my mono red flashback deck.
That's it. You got it.
It's gonna be
I don't
really
know.
hard.
I kind of like it.
I
Kinda
mean,
like it.
what are gonna be your enablers? Gotta think about that. That's gonna be hard, dude. And you need
I can see
playable
this idea,
enablers,
but
not just like don't jam bad cards to make the deck decent.
no, you got flashback. You got faithless
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
come
okay,
on.
you got one.
Laughing Mad. I
Okay,
mean,
got
there's
you.
tons of cards with flashback that lets you draw through your deck. So I mean, I understand, and you can discard cards as well that have flashback to go ahead and start doing the thing. I see where your head's at. I just it is so much to want to try and do to make this card good.
And then he's blocked by 1/1.
Got a +1/+1 counter thing. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, I see. Your blinders are on right now.
I see that. You could put more combats in this, and then just bang, 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 bang. Bigger, 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 bigger. I like that. We're here. I'm here for it.
Hmm.
Let's move on to the grades. Still a C from me.
Yeah, it's absolutely a C.
I don't even know if I want to give this a C, but I feel like this is a D for me.
No, that's fair. Gao, Feral Youth gets the average grade of a C. Next up is General Leo Cristophe. It's 4 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature human soldier. It says when it enters, return up to 1 target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then you put a +1/+1 counter on General Leo Cristophe for each creature you control.
Seems too expensive.
But you can blink it,
Sure. I feel like
and
this
then you
is
lose all the counters on
I
it.
feel like this is uninspiring.
Yeah. I
It
mean, so
is.
here's my thing. All right.
Okay.
Bad card. But
Yeah.
I think the good card part is you are recurring something for 5 mana, which is really cool. So this is almost like a Sun Titan in your command zone to a certain extent. It's only on enter, not attack. But mono white is tokens.
True.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
make a huge board state. And now General Leo Cristophe is like a 20/20. And then you pass your turn because you can't give it haste.
Yeah.
And then it dies.
It's
Yep.
exiled immediately. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that good, but it still does something, right?
Mm-mm.
That counts.
Yeah.
This is a support
Yeah.
piece in my opinion. This is not my commander.
This is like your normal mono white token deck that if something dies, you have General Leo Cristophe in your command zone to bring it back.
Sure.
Everybody watching at home, do you like General Leo Cristophe?
Do you
Yo,
like General
Leo!
Lee? Like we're talking about General Lee from
The
Dukes
car,
of
dude.
Hazzard?
Yeah,
Like what are we
dude.
like
Them Deek boys are at
Let's
it again.
move on to the grades.
is that a new secret layer that's coming out?
Is an F.
Oh. Shocker.
I'm gonna give this a D.
I'm not mad. I'm giving it an F.
General Leo Cristophe gets the average grade of an F. Moving on to another card, it is Gogo, Mysterious Mime. It's 3 and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature wizard. It says at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have Gogo become a copy of another target creature you control until end of turn, except its name is Gogo, Mysterious Mime. If you do, Gogo and that creature each get +2/+0 and gain haste until end of turn and attack this turn if able. That's kind of cool.
Just a little expensive, but it's cool.
Is it expensive? I don't know.
I don't know. It feels weird. Something feels weird
Turns
about it.
into a So this just sits there, right? And any creature you play now is going to get +2/+0 in haste, and then you have 2 of those creatures.
True.
That's cool.
It is cool because it's not the name whatever you're copying, right? So it keeps its Gogo name. I
Yep.
want legend roll.
Keeps its Gogo name.
Yeah.
Gogo wants to Gogo.
Yeah, I love this card. I think this is a fantastic card because this is basically whatever creature in mono red that says when this creature attacks, banger.
Banger.
Absolute banger. You're getting double the triggers. Now, obviously, Itali Primal Storm is the first card that comes to mind. It's in every precon, it's super cheap. You get to exile the top card of everyone's library twice, which is great. I love it.
Yeah. And you just give it an additional bonus.
Yeah, it could be fun.
This card could be so much fun. I'm actually pretty high on Gogo.
I will
I'm
say,
kind of coming around.
downside, this is a 4/2 when it does it, and it has to attack.
I mean, so what?
It's gonna die.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm coming back down now. I
It's
guess
not gonna die.
it's gonna
You're
die.
swinging at the
It's
player that doesn't have anything. Duh.
oh, God, I
Or
forgot.
you're gonna copy the thing that
I
has
should have
indestructible.
checked my calendar. I forgot it's December 25th.
Merry Christmas land.
We're in magical Christmas land.
Now there's always that
Hey,
one person named me that doesn't have a creature, so I can see where they're going.
Perfect. Swinging at Shane.
After board wipe number 5.
Yeah. Don't even.
Move on to the grades. I'll kick us off. You know what? I can see this being played a lot. This is a B.
Oh, Hunter. Yeah, this is a B for sure. I definitely agree with you.
That was such a. Oh, Hunter.
Psyched you out.
Yeah. Didn't psych me out though. I'm still more hesitant. I'm gonna give it a C.
Well, Gogo, Mysterious Mime gets the average grade of a B.
Damn right.
Moving on to the next card, it's Interceptor, Shadow's Hound. 2 black for a 4/3 legendary creature, dog. It's menace. Assassins you control have menace, and whenever you attack with one or more legendary creatures, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, you return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. We're getting commander tax erased, right?
I
Hunter, hit me with
potentially.
those numbers. Mono black assassins. How many?
There's got to be a good number.
The number of mono black assassins is 80.
Oh,
Okay. Doable.
Shane.
Doable.
Yeah, I'm here for this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think anytime you can get rid of commander tax is really good. And essentially, you're wanting to attack. You get the attack trigger, pay the 3. This goes back on the field. Everything's got menace.
Well, see, now we gotta do more numbers, dude. How many
Okay.
legendary assassins? Because you don't get to do this unless it's legendary attacks.
I mean, if there are 80 mono black assassins, Shane,
Okay.
I'm willing to bet there's at least
20.
20 to 25 that are legendary.
I don't know. I don't
And
see
of
this.
and of those 25, I'm gonna say they probably all cost like 8 mana.
I was gonna say maybe 5 are playable. I don't know. I'm just not seeing this.
Yeah, so the correct answer is 13.
13 mono black legendary assassins.
Actually, that number was wrong. Hang on.
The
The
80
actual-
or the 13?
Both.
Oh my god.
So the real number, if you really wanted to know, was that there's 11 legendary assassins in mono black. And
Okay.
there's only 78
So
assassins.
I'm gonna say this is a bit of a niche commander, Steven.
Just a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
say nothing's niche when you have Maskwood Nexus.
Okay, you know what?
But I
You're
will
not wrong.
say, giving Unstoppable Slasher Menace, pretty mean.
Actually, you know what? Is Unstoppable Slasher a assassin?
Yeah.
It is.
Holy shit. That card with Bloodletter
Yes.
Vaclazots, dude, just you're dead.
That is how that
Yeah.
works. Yep.
Because technically this does say assassins you control have menace, and we're leaning pretty hard in the assassins thing.
With all
But
11.
it only says whenever you attack with one or more legendary creatures. So
That's true. That's true.
there's definitely different ways to build this deck.
We're
I
talking
think
so much
this
about this card.
card has been such a roller coaster of ups and downs.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. I'll start us. I still think Interceptor is just a D.
I think it's pretty fun. I'm actually going to move up to a C.
I'm gonna give it D for dog.
D for dog, and that's what it ends up with. Interceptor, Shadow's Hound, average grade, D. Moving on, we're back into two colors. It's Kefka Dancing Mad, 5 black and a red for a 6/6 legendary creature human wizard. During your turn, Kefka has indestructible. And at the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard. You may cast any number of spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. Then each player who owns a spell you cast this way loses life equal to its mana value. That's a fun thing to do.
This could be fun, dude.
But for
Yeah.
7
It okay,
mana,
I get it. Super heavy, but like treasure's the thing, right? Play with treasure.
treasure's the thing. You are correct. You can definitely
Yeah,
do that.
I'm not even really looking at the 7 CMC here because, like Shane said, treasures plus tons of rituals in red and black. The thing that kills me the most about this card is it's random,
That's why it's awesome.
completely random.
Yeah. Chaos.
It's not, because I've played with this card in the Terra Precon and I finally got it out and I was super excited because it's the first time I've actually ever been able to get it out. And all 3 of my opponents randomly got a land.
Well,
That's
you're
true.
not always gonna hit gold.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you want to when you spend 7 mana.
that's true. I don't
I
know.
don't.
I think you could build this card. That's in the Terra Precon, right? You
Yeah.
didn't hit anything. But if you're building with just this card in mind, I think having a bunch of discard effects and continuously making your opponent mill some cards. I know you're not in blue, but just finding ways to fill your opponent's graveyard seems super doable. And then just, I get to play your cards and you lose life for them. Haha. Seems fun.
I
It's
mean,
like
not only just the discard outlet that you're kind of talking about, but also like just thievery.
true.
Yeah, sure. You can definitely do that. Let's just go ahead and move on to the grades. Chaos is chaos. I think I'm gonna still, because it's 7 mana though, it's still gonna be a C.
Yeah, I think over the course of a game, if you're just playing like regular with your friends, you might get to do this 3 times. So for that, I'll give it a C.
What does chaos begin with, guys?
A C.
Yeah, it's a C.
Oh, Kefka Dancing Mad gets the average grade of a C. Next up is Locke, Treasure Hunter. It's 1 black and a red for a 2/3 legendary creature human rogue. It says it can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, and it's got Mug, which means whenever it attacks, each player mills a card. If a land card was milled this way, create a treasure token. Until end of turn, you may cast a spell from among those cards. We liked this as a support piece here on the channel.
Very much.
Is it good as a commander? That's the question. I don't know. I mean,
I
I
don't
guess.
think so. I don't know. I'm honestly just thinking that this is a fantastic. I mean, I could be wrong. Even could prove me wrong. But I love this as a support piece in like a Treasure Matters deck or just like a treasure producing deck. I get that you could cast the spells. That's cool, but I can't see that at the helm.
It's a bit of a thievery, similar to the one we just
It's
talked
true.
about.
It's true.
It, I mean, doesn't matter who mills a land. At least you get that one token. If there's multiple lands, you still get just that one token. Just want to make that as a reminder. Um, it's it's a cool card, but is it a cool commander, Steven?
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, it's a 2/3, and essentially your entire game plan with this is to try and steal stuff off your opponent's libraries because you're not really wanting to buff this card because obviously at that point people can block it. You want this to stay at 2/3 to try and always get in for damage. But it's really cool because it's always when this card attacks, so you're probably always swinging. Even if your opponent has like a 1/2, they're probably not going to block, so you're getting in for damage regardless. But chaos is a factor. You don't know what your opponents have on the top. If it's a land, you're kind of bummed out, but if it's not, you have those treasures.
I mean, if it is a land, you kind of want the treasure because you're not getting help casting whatever they have. You kind of need that extra color.
Yeah,
That's
I
also
mean, and
true.
that's what I'm saying. Like if you don't, you get the treasure.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. We'll start with you, Shane.
I don't think this is a commander for me, man. Support piece, I'm gonna give it a D.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go 1 up. However, I'm gonna give this a C.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a C as well. I think it's just kind of like in the middle of the road there.
Locke Treasure Hunter gets the average grade of a C. Moving on to Moogle Warrior. 1 red, white for a 1/2 legendary creature, Moogle Warrior. It's got lifelink and dance, which means at the beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. Each player who discarded a card this way draws a card. And if a creature card was discarded this way, you create a 1/2 white Moogle creature token with lifelink. Then, if a non creature card was discarded this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on each Moogle you control. Bit of a group huggy Moogle kindred thing.
It's like my Moogle kindred, where this is the only Moogle. Riley would be so proud.
There are other Moogles.
No, I'm saying that's what I
Probably
would
not
do,
enough
though.
to run a deck in Boros.
Yeah, no, I would just rely on this guy to make the Moogles for me.
Yeah, this is a very niche card.
Probably fun.
Obviously, it's probably fun. Yeah, I agree. There are currently, and I quote, in these colors, including this card,
Okay.
7 Moogles.
I honestly don't think that matters. I think this is the kindred, not kindred, that Riley always
Yeah,
builds.
that's true. You're just gonna be creating your own
Yeah,
Moogles,
yeah.
just growing them, and then you're gonna be. Never mind. Yeah, you're just creating and growing them.
You get to pick. I mean, because you can't pick what your opponents do, but you get to pick. Do you want to make a Moogle? I want to put a counter on some Moogles. Like that's cool at least.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean it's so random just because like your opponents don't have to. It's a May ability.
It's
So
true.
technically you're just counting on yourself. And obviously you're probably going to be taking the bait on this. You want to kind of do the thing with
Draw a card.
Moogle Warrior. But there's also people that I know, including myself, that when given the opportunity to draw and discard a card, oh baby, am I here for that? But it's good because you get the effect no matter what. So you're either going to put a +1/+1 counter on this or make some tokens. And if you're able to do both, fantastic.
For a couple turn rotations, dude. Let's say you have a couple Moogs, a couple Moogs, and you do it. Pump the whole team up. This counters on all your Moogs. Pretty sick, dude.
You know what? I'm starting to like this card more and more. Here's another lane. Shapeshifters.
You just like counters, dude. Let's be honest.
Shapeshifters. We're adding a bunch more creatures that can be Moogles as well.
Okay.
Maskwood Nexus. We're all Moogles here.
Dude, we bring
Let's
up
just keep
Maskwood every
going.
time.
We got those discard effects. You got Monument to Endurance that we loved with Hashaton. That'll fit into this. We got card advantage. I'm making it work. You see that?
I hear it.
It's only 3
Man,
mana for a 1/2.
We need to move on to grades because I'm about to give this an A if you don't stop.
Yeah, Hunter's just creeping it up.
Here we go. Let's move on to the grades, Steven.
Oh, you took too long. It's going to be a B.
Get that. It's a B, huh?
Yeah, I
You
think
know
it's
what?
fun. It's 3 mana. It's got lifelink. You can. I think it's actually pretty fun.
I'm going to be honest, Steven. I think I agree with you. It's a B.
Dude, I love how we came into this. Like, you were not there for it. I as well honestly think this is a B card.
Yeah.
Yes. Moogle Warrior. It's the average grade of a B. Next up is Sabin, Master Monk. It's 4 and a red for a 4/3 legendary creature, human noble monk. Double strike, and it has blitz of 2 and 2 red. Discard a card in case you forgot. If you cast this spell for its blitz cost, it gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card. You sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. And then it says you may cast this card from your graveyard using its blitz ability. It's kind of cool. Just continuously blitzing this out over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean the discard a card in addition to the blitz is kind of unfortunate, but you are essentially just kind of like going neutral because when this dies, you draw a card.
Yeah, you're fine.
I guess you can make it into like a madness deck, right?
Hey, that's something.
I don't know though.
It's this card. I don't know. This card's okay.
Seems
I mean,
kinda
4
weird.
mana, double strike for 8 damage, pretty good. But you're not really enabling yourself to do. I guess you can blitz it out, and you don't have to go into. It's not coming in during combat, so you can still like attach stuff to it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't I don't
A
know.
Voltron commander that you cast from the graveyard every turn?
Let's say a
I'm
Voltron
not
commander that constantly
making this
dies.
Voltron. Yeah,
Dude,
this
that
is not
sounds
Voltron.
sick.
Yeah, dude, you put Skull Clamp on this every single time?
I think you put in all your damage doublers, damage triplers, and then you're just bringing this like someone's got to deal with this because they're just gonna die if they don't continuously block.
You
It's
better
like
have someone on the
and
field to block
Blitzden
that yourself, or
and Blitzden.
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
gonna.
of course, but like every turn I'm blitzing this in.
I mean, you kind of have to.
It's so much fun. Haste double strike, 4/3, damage tripler. Good luck. Let's move on to the grades. I'm actually gonna give this a C. I think it's pretty good.
I think it's very middle of the road. So I'm going to give this a C.
I love the response. It was pretty good. Give it a C. It's middle of the road, so it's like a C, but it's not like pretty good.
Well, Sabin, Master Monk, average grade, C. Next up is Setzer, Wandering Gambler, 1 black and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature human rogue pilot. When it enters, create the Blackjack, a legendary 3/3 colorless vehicle artifact token with flying and crew 2. And whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, flip a coin. Whenever you win a coin flip, you create 2 tapped treasure tokens. Whoa, Steven, look. Gambling. Coin flip.
Why would you play this?
Blackjack.
Why would you play this as a commander?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? There's like, what's the payoff
All the
here?
stuff I just said. Yeah. Coin flip. Blackjack.
It's a
Cool.
vehicle deck.
Vehicles.
It's super cool, man. You know what's super cool? Tapped
What's cool?
treasure. Super cool.
I will admit that is less cool. So
I think it's still pretty cool. I mean, the tap treasures are a little bit of a like unfortunate thing, but still solid. Like this being a vehicle commander deck, like you're going to be swinging in with a lot of vehicles.
I suppose so.
I'll tell you one thing, Steven. I did build and play a vehicle deck against you guys, and it was cool. But what also happened is when you play with vehicles, everything is always tapped. Because you're crewing and they're gone, you're going to get destroyed.
Nah,
Okay.
Nah.
I'll have tap treasures.
Oh, that's true.
Nah.
You will.
Doesn't happen. Not on my watch.
Throwing a KCI in there, good to go.
I love how it's always just like, throw one
This
thing in
is-
there. It's good.
This is weird. I'm not a big fan of vehicle commanders.
This is a fun piece
Sorry.
to go in a deck that coin flips. I don't know if I'm putting this at the helm, though.
Yeah, this is it's so random. It like you lose the flip and it's like,
Cool.
all right, my commander did nothing.
What do you mean? It made
I don't
a
know.
vehicle.
Yeah, when it entered the first time, and then you're just like, okay, now my commander doesn't do anything because I'm just gonna keep losing coin flips.
Not only that, but like, I mean, maybe if they said, just a 3/3 instead of a legendary 3/3,
Yeah.
I probably would have
Yeah.
been higher on this. But the fact that even if this dies in your vehicle 6th round, when it gets recast, you're not going to keep the other one. You know what I mean? Like, it's so unfortunate.
Yeah, but you get another guy to crew. I'm ready to move on.
Let's
No,
move
you-
on.
No, you
Let's
don't.
move
You
on.
get the same guy that tried to crew
Steven,
before.
we're moving on to the grades. All right, and we're gonna start with Shane.
It is a D.
I'm going lower. It's an F.
I can't go that low. It's a D. Still making a ton of treasures.
Setzer, Wandering Gambler, gets the average grade of a D. Moving on to the owner of Interceptor. This is Shadow, Mysterious Assassin. It's 2 and a black for a 3/3 legendary creature, human assassin. It's got Death Touch and it has Throw. It says whenever Shadow deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrificed permanent.
Dude,
That is kind of cool.
hear me out for just like 1 second. Why
Okay,
wasn't this
one.
a partner pairing? Because then it would have been playable. The dog and this dude should have been a partner pairing. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, you're right. I
You're
agree.
wrong.
You can't prove me
Well,
wrong.
I can't. Because Shadow deals combat damage, you draw 2 cards. They want you to draw the Interceptor.
No.
No, the Interceptor wants to give this menace
No.
and then bring
Shadow
back
wants to
Interceptor.
draw the dog.
No, Shadow wants
No,
to
no.
fling the dog from the graveyard.
You guys have no idea how
Bingo.
sarcastic I'm being right now, and it's
No,
insane to
we
me.
get the sarcasm. We're
Like-
just telling you that you're wrong.
Yeah, because I'm right.
No,
Is this a good card though by itself?
Uh, kind of. It's better than Interceptor.
Sadly.
Mm,
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, depending on how big the permanents you're sacking, I mean, you're getting card advantage. 2 cards is not bad, and you're just hitting each opponent for how much? I don't know.
3.
It depends on if you sack something for 3.
You may sack another non-land permanent.
I don't know if we could say much else about this card. It's cool. I'll leave it at that. We'll move
Yeah.
on to the grades. It's a C, middle of the road for me.
Yeah, it's a C. It's not like overly strong. It's a 3/3 with death touch, and you'll get a couple swings in, but eventually people will want to take this out.
It's a C for me. This would have been a B if it was a partner pairing. Calling it right now.
It should have been a partner panning. Shadow Mysterious Assassin gets the average grade of a C. Next up is Siegfried, Famed Swordsman. It's 3 and a black for a 2/2 legendary creature, human warrior rogue. It's got menace, and it says when it enters, mill 3 cards. Then put X +1/+1 counters on Siegfried, where X is twice the number of creature cards in your graveyard. That's a lot of counters, potentially.
At least it has menace now. Jesus.
Yeah, that's actually can grow pretty
Big.
crazy.
Big.
Yeah,
However-
I love this card in the pre-con. I
However-
won't lie to you.
However, it is only one time.
That's true. But that's unfortunate.
It's only one time.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean it's only one time?
Well, it's when it enters.
cast it. It's only when it enters.
Sure.
But it will
So
be.
cast
It
this-
will be the big beater.
Cast this only when you have a bunch of creatures.
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
grave.
Put twice
Yeah.
that many 1/1 counters on. I mean, that's. And then what? Just like a good stuff deck. Good range.
I think this card is not that good.
I mean, I'm stretching.
I'm actually a huge fan of this card, and I'm a little, what's the word? Sorry, I just
Bias
forgot.
because it says mill.
Thank you, biased. No. It's self mill. I don't like self mill. Which is interesting that I bought this precon. Anyways, yeah, I'm a little biased on this card. I won't lie to you. In the precon, I think this card is super awesome. Now, granted, I'm bringing it back with Terra, so I'm not, this isn't a mono black deck, but I got this card to be like I think like a 30/30, and it was wild because like even with just Terra on the field and this being like a 30/30, like everyone just looked at me like I was the worst person in the world. So I had a
Hey, you got-
30/30 with Menace.
I'm sure
Got
you died
15
next.
creatures in the grave. That's crazy.
It's easy when you have
Yeah.
self mill.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
whole
I
deck
think it's.
revolves around self mill.
I did say that it had menace. I just still think it's like. I don't know. It's not a
This
big
is
dumb
mono
beater.
black. You're going to be able. It's a big dumb beater.
But, I mean,
It's a
say it is,
huge
but it
big dumb
isn't.
beater.
It's got menace, so it's like a little bit of evasion.
Sure.
I think
Still,
Steven
big dumb beater.
gave a great point. It did really well in another deck.
True. Support piece.
At
Moving
the
on.
helm of the deck, I still think that it's pretty solid.
Well,
I
let's see your
think that
grade.
you're building mono black and you're destroying a bunch of stuff on people's boards. You can build this as discard, so you can even discard yourself. So you start filling your graveyard.
Moving on to the grades. Start with you, Steven. Your highest.
You know what? I do it every video. I'm gonna give it a B.
I am going all the way down to a D.
I'll meet you there. It's gonna be a D for me too.
With that, Siegfried gets the average grade of a C.
Damn right.
Next up is Strago and Relm. It's 2 and a red for a 1/3 legendary creature human wizard. It's got Sketch and Lore for 2 and a red. You can tap it. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant, sorcery, or creature card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste, and at the beginning of end step, sacrifice this creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Got a lot of text for it to do just one thing.
It's super chaosy, and I don't know if I like it.
It's cool.
Is it?
I always say cool, and then I always just kind of put it into the ground. I will say the effect is neat. Is that a better word?
The neat effect. I will agree.
It's a neat effect. It's you're guaranteed to hit something, right?
I think
And
that's
you
why
just
this card's
cast it for
great.
free. Okay.
6 mana, technically, you have to wait a turn, which is unfortunate. But I will say, to always be able to hit a card is very rare to see on cards like this. Usually it's always target opponent or opponent exiles a card from the top of their library, and then I said 9 times out of 10, at least for me, it's a land. And I can't do anything with it. I can't play it. I can't cast it. And I'm bummed out. But at least this way, I at least have a guarantee to hit something. And I can always target that one player at the table that I know is going to have the coolest stuff in their deck.
Sure. I mean, that's true. You could do that. I don't know. I just think just that kind of effect of just, hey, I just want to play one of your cards. Is that really good on a commander?
I think it's really good in a support piece that cares about playing from exile, but I don't know if
That's
it's good
true.
at the helm.
Yeah.
I mean, also, this does say target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library. So they are those cards that, those lands and artifacts that they're milling or exiling are gone.
That's true.
And
They're not,
enchantments.
yeah, and enchantments.
That is true. They're
And
gone.
battles. And planeswalkers.
Oh,
Wanna keep
shut
going?
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're only helping me love this card more. I'm just
Just
saying,
help.
like, that to me is fun because like they will never see those cards again, and I don't have to worry about them. They're just gone.
Let's move on to the grades. You seem highest again. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna give it a B. This one's an actual. This is a sincere B. I'm being dead serious. This is really fun, and I think this is fantastic.
Nah, it's a D for me.
Steven, I hate doing this to you. Keep doing this to me, though. It's not a B, dude. It's a D for me.
That's fine. I think this is super fun.
Strago and Relm gets the average grade of a C. Moving on to a colorless card, it's the Warring Triad. It's 3 mana for a 5/5, a legendary artifact creature god. It's got flying, it's got trample, and it's got haste. And it says as long as there are fewer than 8 cards in your graveyard, the Warring Triad isn't a creature. You can also tap it, mill a card, target player adds 1 mana of any color.
Hmm.
Interesting. Do
You're gonna
we
be a,
like
you're
a
gonna be a
colorless
you're gonna be
commander?
a colorless commander that adds color. Cool.
I mean, you use it in
Yeah.
any generic mana, but
I know.
it's got a lot of cool text on it, and it also says it does nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it does anything, dude.
This is
Flying,
awful.
trample, and haste for 3 mana for a 5/5 is cool, but then you're probably not casting this on curve because you don't have any fewer than 8 cards in
Yeah,
your graveyard.
it's just an artifact.
Yeah,
That's it.
that can mill yourself.
Sure, I'd much rather play Urza's Battlefopter. It is 3
Oh,
mana and does so
100%.
much more.
100 billion%.
Well, I think this was a quick one. We can move on to our grades. Steven, you want to give the highest grade again?
Yeah, I'll give the highest grade Z.
I don't have that letter.
Z?
You know that letter?
I
All right,
have
let's
that.
go with F.
Okay.
You know what? I think it still does something. It's going to be a
Oh.
D for me.
I hate
That's
when it's so
wild.
stupid. This is an F hunter.
Well, the Warring Triad gets the average grade of an F. The final card from the Revival Trance Precon that we are talking about as a potential commander is Umaro, Raging Yeti. It's 5 and a red for a 6/6 legendary creature, Yeti Berserker. It's got trample, and it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one at random. You can have other creatures you control get +3/+0 and gain trample until end of turn, or you can discard your hand, then draw 4 cards, or you can have Umaro deal 5 damage to any target. Does a
What?
lot for 6, but also nothing.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
6 mana at random. You can cast this for
Yeah.
6 and then accidentally discard your hand.
But you get to 4 cards.
It's
What do you
true.
mean?
It's true.
This card's awful.
This card is not meant for a commander.
No, this
And
is a support
how-
piece.
This is how we end these videos sometimes because we do these
It's
alphabetically.
every time.
Hunter
and
loves
it's
alphabetical, and yeah, it ruins it.
unfortunate that comes down to a bad card at the end.
Hey, you know what? Someone out there wants to play the Raging Yeti. More power to you.
You know what? Post your Raging Yeti links down
Your
below.
Raging Yeti list.
Yeah,
How many
let me-
decks are on EDH Rec right now?
There are 49 of them.
Hey,
So,
Oh my
49
God.
brave
There's a lot.
souls.
But let's go
That's
ahead and move
just
on to the
EDH
grades.
Rec.
We're going to the grades. We're all saying F, right? Raise your hand if you're an F. I'm an F. Steven?
Hi,
F.
I'm an F.
All right, we're all Fs. Umaro, Raging Yeti, the average grade of an F. And that is going to do it for us today. If you guys like that Commander Grades for Revival Trance, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, so you're staying up to date with all these other videos that we are putting constantly out, because right now we are in the process of continuously putting out these grades video and continuously putting out Edge of Eternity's videos and all of the other stuff. It's a lot of content. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so, because 20,000 once again. And yeah, but comment down below. Did you guys agree with these grades? Maybe you disagree with these grades. Always interested to hear your guys' opinions. What deck did you build that we did not like, that you think we were wrong about? Always
Raging
interested
Yeti.
to hear you guys. Yeah, Raging Yeti. And in the description, not only will you find links to the upgrades for this deck, for the 100 and 300 of the face and the backup commander, once again, description. And in the description, you'll find links to all of our social media accounts. Follow us on those as well. Keep up to date with everything else that we got going on. And on the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It really does mean the world to us. If you guys wanted to check out what they are seeing, which is not here on YouTube. Also, early access content over in the link in the description as well. Consider subscribing. And a very special shout out to our Gains Indestructible tier, starting with Aaron Hill,
Aaron Martin.
Brian Gagniella,
Daryl Tripp,
Demarion Turner.
Dr. Rom,
Jimmy Ward,
Kevo.
Larry Killian,
Samuel Abbott,
Thrifty PSGR.
and William Colombo.
You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
I was right on all of my opinions.
Bye bye.